Thanks for staying with us. So according to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Person, NAPTIP, there are close to 5,000 Nigerians stranded in Lebanon. In this viral video, they were appealing to the Nigerian government and other prominent Nigerians to come to their rescue.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, our government. Please, we are pleading to you. We are guests from Lebanon. We are stranded. Please, all of us that we are sitting here, we are all sleeping in this same room. We are cooking our food inside this room. We are sleeping here. Everything we want to do inside this one room. We want to come home, please. Everybody, please, plead to the government that we want to come home. Tell them we want to come home. Please.
So we have Honorable Tolulope Akonde Shadipe, Chairman House Committee of on Diaspora. Now, this issue of young ladies being trafficked, one of the issues we have is that once they get into these countries, they seize their passports, they're suddenly almost like slaves, and they lose every sense of identity. So our question, therefore, is what's the government doing to empower our agencies over there to be a real support for Nigerian citizens wherever they are in the world?
First thing I must tell you is it's heartbreaking for me. And why is it heartbreaking? It's heartbreaking because I have the records and you don't have a clue what we're talking about here. You have seen a video of some young girls. They are just a minute amount. I'll tell you, today, approximately 20,000 young females are in Mali, 2,000 young females are in Saudi Arabia, 1,000 young females in Oman, 150 young females in Abu Dhabi, 2,000 young females in Dubai, 20,000 young females in Libya, living in very dehumanizing conditions. Some of the countries, even their governments don't know exactly where these girls are held because they're held in very remote places. As you all know, we also have the case of 35 Nigerians who have been held illegally in detention for more than 45 days in Ghana border, in a Ghana border town called Aflau. 18 others are held in Abidjan for over the past 2 years. Sulaiman Olufemi is on death row in Saudi Arabia. The House Committee on Diaspora has been working assiduously to ensure that this young man is not executed. Now, why do we have this problem? Nigerians trying to leave the country for better opportunities. Poverty, lack of education, lack of employment, corruption, gender inequality, and the very high rate of unemployment in Nigeria today. Minimum wage, for example, 18,000 to 30,000. Some places are still not paying that minimum wage. Some Nigerians out there blame these young ladies for wanting to leave the country, but I don't. And the House Committee on Diaspora does not, because we see it as them looking for better opportunities like you and I will always look for. Doctors go, nurses go. So why can't our other unskilled labor go, but be given the respect that they deserve in these countries? I will focus on Lebanon. It is sad that in spite of the long-term relationship Nigeria has had with Lebanon, from as early as the 20s, that it would be Lebanon as a country that would be involved with the maltreatment of Nigerians in their country. The number of Lebanese people in Nigeria who earn their economic empowerment in Nigeria and move these resources home, towns in Lebanon have been built out of economic empowerment that they acquired here in Nigeria. So I would hold the Ministry of Foreign Affairs responsible to an extent. I would hold immigration responsible. I would hold NAPTIP responsible. I will hold Nigerians as a whole responsible, because the agents who traffic these young ladies are Nigerian citizens.
God bless you.
There's an agent right now who has trafficked 150 girls, has received $1,000 per girl. That is 150,000 naira. The girls claim that for every single girl that wants to leave, the agents pay immigration 50,000 naira at the departure point. This is what I am being told by the girls. It's unfortunate that NAPTIP cannot be here with us today. Very unfortunate. Because NAPTIP too has issues, financial issues that does not enable them. Now, a few weeks ago, the House Committee set up an investigation where we invited immigration, Department of Labor, as in our Ministry of Labor. We invited Foreign Affairs, NAPTIP, Diaspora Commission. We did a thorough investigation. We were told that at the airport that there's a secondary check that immigration has. We visited the airport, we did not see any secondary. We did an oversight to the airport, we did not see any secondary checks. We cannot understand why immigration is not working closely with NAPTIP. Why NAPTIP does not have a presence at the airport? Because immigration has told us that they do not have the right to stop any Nigerian that has a visa from leaving the country. If NAPTIP was at the airport working in collaboration with immigration, NAPTIP will be able to identify trafficked girls and will be able to stop those girls from leaving the country. So as it relates to immigration, those are the things I can think of.
All right, thank you very much. Sir, so I'd like you to respond to a few things. Number one, she said that one of the girls did confirm that immigration officers collect 50,000 naira before they leave. That's one. Number two, when they did investigation in the airport, there was no secondary security check. And there are no NAPTIP officials in the airports. Could you confirm to us exactly how that happened?
It is unfortunate that we will be doing media trial and saying some things in the public domain, which actually is supposed to be issues to be addressed by professionals. The Nigerian Immigration Service will not run away from responsibility of ensuring that regular migrants travel and irregular migrants are restricted from traveling, which we are doing. With due respect to her Honorable, I cannot imagine our officers who are in the cubicle with other agencies seated by their side collecting 50,000 naira to allow a migrant to travel. And for emphasis, you don't have any reason giving 50,000 naira to anybody when your passport is valid, when you have a valid visa, and you are supposed to travel to such a country. And by implication, how do you even do that kind of a transaction? For somebody, because the person who's supposed to clear you is supposed to be the person in the cubicle.
Sir.
So who do you now give such kind of money to that will clear you?
Sir, I would rather that you also investigate these allegations, because the agents paying is not the person complaining. It's the girls who see them pay and have reported to the Honorable as a member of the Committee on Diaspora. I think I'd rather you investigate your staff to see if that is being done. It's most likely.
For the benefit of doubt, I spoke with one of the girls. I spoke with one of the girls on Saturday. Her name is Comfort Towing. I had a personal call to her, and she never mentioned anything. On Saturday, called the young lady and asked, was there any conversation between her, the public relations officer of immigration? And that meeting did not just end at me speaking with her. Even the ambassador was on a conference with me, and the officer in charge of foreign desk, the special assistant to the general foreign desk, we tried to mitigate the issue of even the video.
Right.
I had to advise the young lady that they should stop making videos and be posting in a foreign country to avoid anything that will lead to their being further embarrassed. They should rather communicate directly to the sources.
Okay.
Just like they contacted a journalist that called me, and the journalist was given a number, and I spoke with the girl, and they were very happy for it.
All right. Let me go on a quick break, sir.
Comfort Toy. She was the lady actually.
Right. We tried. Comfort was supposed to be on the show this morning also.
Like 50,000 to me.
Sir, Comfort is supposed to be on this show. We're still trying to call her.
Ma, I feel I tend to feel like the House of Assembly have so much power that is not being as utilized as it can be. On this show, I've brought allegations against the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for not doing enough, actually for not being visible. And this is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs job. I don't know if diaspora affects the foreign affairs, but I feel that there must be a job done by the House of Representatives to call the foreign affairs minister to order concerning these abuses happening back to back. Also, I know that in Nigeria we have a lot of, and I've mentioned it over and over again, Philippines. The Filipinos send their citizens to Nigeria, and there is a system with which they monitor that every citizen of Philippines that comes to Nigeria isn't abused. They are well paid and well taken care of. Why don't we have such structure in other countries like Lebanon? We have a good relationship with them. What can the minister do? What would you do to ensure the minister does what is best to protect Nigerians over there?
My dear, if I would be given a few minutes, I will run through what the House has done. The House, as I said, did this investigative hearing. In the process, we found out issues about immigration, some of which I have raised. Ministry of Labor and Productivity is the ministry that is issuing licenses to the agents. There has been a moratorium on licenses to 20 still issued licenses. Those are the results of our investigation, which is ongoing. I raised a motion last week, Thursday, and this motion raised some pertinent action that the House of Representatives, is insisting that the executive, Mr. President, ensure that the Ministry of Labor complies. The minister refused to appear before us. The PS of the ministry had the audacity to walk out on the committee investigation under oath, because it was found out that the Ministry of Labor lied under oath. It is the Ministry of Labor, not Foreign Affairs, that is responsible for monitoring any of domestic workers that have been taken abroad. Every year, they're supposed to receive reports from these agents showing exactly who is where, what they are doing, what countries they are located. Labor has not been doing it. They were not able to bring in any documents during our investigation. They lied under oath. Two, Ministry of Labor has been giving licenses to agents during the moratorium to traffic people to countries where there is no bilateral labor agreement. Another finding. Now, Foreign Affairs, on the other hand, has not been funding the foreign ministry, the foreign embassies, enough to ensure that they're able to come to the aid of these ladies when they are in trouble. So there are a lot of issues that came out in our investigation. On Thursday last week, on behalf of the Committee on Diaspora, I moved a motion in the House before we went on recess. We're currently working on a bill to further empower NAPTIP, to ensure that NAPTIP is able to curb what is going on. NIDCOM, the Diaspora Commission, at the same time, who could have helped as well, is cash-strapped, does not have the funding required to, it's not their mandate, but they have been assisting, but they don't have the kind of funding required. Right now, an emergency fund needs to be provided by the executive to get these girls home, our children, not only from Lebanon, from Mali. There are 20,000 Nigerian girls living in tents who were trafficked, some to go and teach English, some were trafficked. Yes, those young, innocent girls are held in tents, being held as slaves, sex slaves in tents, living in tents in Mali. That is an African country.
Okay, let me get a few questions for you, Ma. Yeah, go ahead.
Ma?
So thank you, Ma, for talking about the dignity of labor of our workers, our non-skilled workers in those countries. I want to quickly, I want you to address the issue because of those that are not trafficked, those that are enslaved in countries like Oman that we don't have those relations with. In cases where people are taking, they are given a letter of employment for a valid professional job, but they get to these countries and the residents of those countries are allowed to seize their passports and enslave them. What does the Nigerian government, what can we do to ensure that such cases are not just prevented, but such infractions are punished in those countries? Do we have those relations to punish? Because earlier I was asking the immigration officer if there's a way we could ensure that we know the job is the same that they're going to do.
Now, Oman, this weekend, the Nigerian community in Oman helped to bring some girls back home. They paid for those girls to come back home. They had their passports. One of the young girls who is from Oyo State, who I have been conversing with regularly, was not allowed to board that flight because her employer refused to give her a passport. So what you're talking about is real. Now, I am throwing a challenge, which I did during the investigation. It was a very, very, I was termed a very aggressive woman by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as a result of that investigation, because I insisted that we need to move away from colonial mentality. Yes. And our Ministry of Foreign Affairs should stop hiding under diplomacy, and begin to fight for the rights of Nigerians abroad. The only way this can be achieved is by funding the embassies, and then also by having conversations with the government of Oman. Oman does not have an embassy. So they need to start a conversation where we take an aircraft into Oman and we take our people out of Oman. Nigeria, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs needs to begin to understand the value of that Nigerian passport to a Nigerian, the respect that that passport deserves. No country has a right to hold on to our passport. Nobody. And we cannot continue to hide under diplomacy, and continue to let countries and people and citizens of those countries illegally oppress our people, subjugate the sovereignty of our country, Nigeria. That is the responsibility of foreign affairs. So if I had had more time, I would have gone through every single agency of the executive, every ministry that has a responsibility to uphold, and this can be achieved if every hand is on deck.
Right.
NAPTIP, Immigration, Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Labor. We have asked during the motion, we asked that the president mandates the Minister of Labor to appear before this investigation committee.
Very important.
And the House has adopted it. It was adopted last week, Thursday, and something is being done about it.
Thank you very much.
Productivity and labor encourage these agents. These agents have become very powerful people, where to the point they have committed murder. They murdered a member of Project Ferry, an NGO that has been working very, very committed to ensuring our girls come home. The Nigerian police needs to ensure that when NAPTIP brings these agents to them, that they prosecute these agents. It's not a one ministry issue. Right. It is a joint collaboration, and it can only be achieved by a commitment, not denials, by a commitment. I have spoken and I have met with the Controller General of Immigration, and he too agreed with me that yes, we have a problem. Yes. But that immigration's hands are tied in that they cannot stop people with valid visas.
Thank you very much.
We told them that you have to stop people with valid visas, and then do a further review and let the ones that should go. And for example, 2 weeks ago, immigration stopped a Lebanese from taking 6 girls out of Nigeria. They did the right thing, but it's not always that they do the right thing. Now, there's a Lebanese man in jail in Kwara State. This man is in jail for human trafficking. And when we are talking about human trafficking, yes, the people have visas, but when they get to the countries they're going to, they are not allowed to do the work they were sent to do, or they are treated like slaves. So it still falls under human trafficking. This man has trafficked a certain number of girls. Some of them came back in the batch that I met at the airport the other time. Those girls came back not being compensated for any money for the time they spent there as slaves.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up here, Ma. We've run out of time. I do apologize. I do apologize. There's so much you said. We can't cover it in a show. We need to bring you up because we've seen the work you've done. We've heard you loud and clear. We've seen that there's quite a number of agencies that are responsible. There's not just one. There's NAPTIP, there's the Ministry of Labor, there's Immigration, there's the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, and there's the police. And also the National Assembly. So all hands must be on deck, as you've rightly said, to ensure the safe return of these girls, this unskilled labor that we're losing to trafficking. Unfortunately, that's all we can take. We'll be speaking with the Honorable Minister and the Honorable Member of the National Assembly, Tolulope Akande Shadipe, Chairman, House Committee on Diaspora. And we had the PRO also, who was with us earlier. Thank you very much, sir, for the PRO of Immigration, Mr. James, the Nigerian Immigration Service, James Sunday.
You can watch Your View on TVC every Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Nigerian time on DSTV channel 418, GOTV channel 27 and channel 47, StarTimes channel 121 and channel 307, Play TV channel 801 and channel 190, UHF 49, Sky channel 515 for UK viewers. Watch live on Facebook at TVC Connect and on our website tvcentertainment.tv/livestream.